Good evening. I know that I want to mention this. I know that the caption says Genesis 28, but we're actually doing 29. I'm sitting here looking at the list of ones I've already done. So we're reading Genesis chapter 29. With me reading, we're in Genesis in the Bible recap and along about this same thing. So in another day or two, I'll be far enough ahead on one that I won't be quite so much confusion. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So tonight we're going to read Genesis chapter 29. Before we get started, I know I've said this several times. Y'all, please keep an eye on the weather. I know in this area, chances are we're just going to get a lot of rain. But I do want you to be careful and make sure that that you're prepared. And, excuse me. If you're listening to me from somewhere outside of the area, absolutely please keep an eye out. It looks like in some places it's going to be really bad if it does like they think it's going to. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say. So now we're going to read Genesis chapter 29. And it starts out, the title of the first section is Jacob marries Leah and Rachel. Then Jacob went on his journey and came to the land of the people of the east. As he looked, he saw a well in the field, and behold, 3 flocks of sheep lying beside it. For out of the well the flocks were watered. The stone on the well's mouth was large, and when all the flocks were gathered there, the shepherds would roll the stone from the mouth of the well and water the sheep, and put the stone back in its place over the mouth of the well. Jacob said to them, "My brothers, where do you come from?" They said, "We are from Haran." He said to them, "Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor?" They said, "We know him." He said to them, "Is it well with him?" They said, "It is well, and see, Rachel his daughter is coming with the sheep." He said, "Behold, it is still high day. It's not time for the livestock to be gathered together. Water the sheep and go pasture them." But they said, "We cannot until all the flocks are gathered together and the stone is rolled from the mouth of the well. Then we will water the sheep." Well, I have a little note over here when he was telling them, go ahead and water them and then go on. I think he was trying to get rid of them so he could talk to Rachel by herself. While he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. Now as soon as Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, Jacob came near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. Now, the Bible recap mentioned that Rachel was a shepherdess, and she said that seemed to be a job that a lot of young women had. And she said it's entirely possible that the shepherds who came to visit Jesus when he was born were young women. Now, I've also heard that they were that these were older men who were priests who were taking care of I think they call them the Levitical lambs, the lambs that would be used for sacrifice. I don't know. Both of those make good points. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. And I also thought it was interesting that this is kind of a reverse of when Jacob's father, when the servant went to get went to find a wife for him, and the young woman watered the camels, if y'all remember that. To me, that's kind of a back and forth like that. While he was still speaking with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she was a shepherdess. I think I read that. Now as soon as Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, Jacob came near, yes, I read this, came near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. Then Jacob kissed Rachel and wept aloud. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's kinsman, and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. As soon as Laban heard the news about Jacob, his sister's son, he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. Jacob told Laban all these things, and Laban said to him, "Surely you are my bone and my flesh," and he stayed with him a month. Then Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, should you therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall your wages be?" Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel, which we've just met. Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Now, there's been discussion about what that means, that Leah's eyes were weak. It could mean that she couldn't see well, or it could mean that they were weak looking. They were not. Some people's eyes are they're just beautiful. The lashes are long and thick, and their eyes look clear and got beautiful color. And then some people's, mine are very plain eyes, I think. Then Laban said to Jacob, "Because you are my kinsman, should you therefore serve me for nothing? What shall your wages be?" Now Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the older was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. We just read this. Leah's eyes were weak, but Rachel was beautiful in form and appearance. Jacob loved Rachel, and he said, "I will serve you 7 years for your younger daughter Rachel." Laban said, "It is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Stay with me." So Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed to him but a few days because of the love he had for her. Then Jacob said to Laban, give me my wife, that I may go into her, for my time is completed." So Laban gathered together all the people of the place and made a feast. But in the evening he took his daughter Leah and brought her to Jacob, and he went into her. Laban gave his female servant Zilpah to his daughter Leah to be her servant. And in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And Jacob said to Laban, "What is this you have done to me? Did I not serve with you for Rachel? Why then have you deceived me?" Now see, he was deceiving all these other people, and now he's mad because Laban has deceived him. The shoe's on the other foot. Laban said, "It is not so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn. Complete the week of this one, and we will give you the other also in return for serving me another 7 years." Jacob did so and completed her week. Then Laban gave him his daughter Rachel to be his wife. Laban gave his female servant Bilhah to his daughter Rachel to be her servant. So Jacob went into Rachel also, and he loved Rachel more than Leah, and served Laban for another 7 years. And I've got a note over here. I said Jacob only had to wait a week extra for Rachel, and I wondered, how did he treat Leah during that week? That was supposed to be their honeymoon. I don't know if they celebrated honeymoons like we did, but that was supposed to be their time of getting to know one another as husband and wife, and being good to one another. And I've wondered how he treated her and how she felt knowing that she was not the one that he wanted. Excuse me. So, let me finish this. Jacob's children, that's the next section. When the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben. That was the first son. For she said, "Because the Lord has looked upon my affliction, for now my husband will love me." She conceived again and bore a son, and said, "Because the Lord has heard that I am hated, he has given me this son also." And she called his name Simeon. Again she conceived and bore a son, and said, "Now this time my husband will be attached to me, because I have borne him 3 sons." Therefore his name was called Levi. And Levi was the tribe where all the the priest came from later, way on down the line. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she said, "This time I will praise the Lord." Therefore she called his name Judah. Then she ceased bearing. Okay, Judah is the ancestor of Jesus's family. When you hear people say the line of the tribe of Judah, that's why, because Jesus's family came down from the son Judah. So he was not the firstborn, he was the fourth one. Levi was the father of the priests, and Judah was the tribe that Jesus came from. Now we'll go on through here and see, after a few more chapters, we'll see a little bit more about, about what these sons do. If you're familiar with the story, you may or you may not be, but we'll see how each one of the sons behaves as time goes on. So anyway, that's the end of chapter number 29, and I thank y'all for joining me tonight. Been doing a little housekeeping today, trying to get my Bible study materials together. I am working on, still working on that class. I finished up reading and outlining Matthew today. I've only got a few more books to go. There's 27, I believe 27 books in the New Testament, and I think I've got 8 more books to outline. And that's part of, that's a report I have to turn in. I also have to turn a report in on an overview of each book and something about that book that helps me. And I have to write a report on the book of John. I'm going to be outlining that one next. Got to go in a little bit more detail in that outline. I'm taking classes. I'm almost finished with the book of Acts. And then I think I have either 3 or 4 more classes to go. The book of Acts, part of that requirement is that I teach some lessons on Acts. And so I'm going to be doing that. I may have already mentioned this, but I'm going to be doing that on Thursday nights in February. I'm going to do my best to be on at 8:30 every night, but on Thursday nights I'm going to be doing the book of Acts, and it has to be at least 4 sessions. And I've had several people say that they would join me live and participate in the live, which they'll make comments and I'll see it. Because I'm looking at my monitor screen, I'll be able to see if somebody says something, and that's going to be a big help to me. And if you would like to, I would love to have you join me. There's no limit how many people can watch or join in, and of course I'll leave it up and you can comment later as well if you're not able to join me live. But anyway, that's what's going on here. I hope y'all have a good evening. I will mention this now. Last year at Lifeline, we did it was a family fun day, and we did like a one-day Bible school that was for everybody, and I think everybody enjoyed it. It was talking about being fishers of men, and Jeff Roman Clayton was a highlight of the day. He gave us a demonstration in fishing lures and casting the fishing lures, and told us all about that and told us about being fishers of men. It was a lot of fun, and we're planning to do that again this year. Of course, we'll have a different theme this year, and probably looking at doing it early in May. But once we get everything nailed down that we need to, we'll go ahead and put it on Facebook so that everybody knows about it, and we'll be getting the information out. We hope y'all will come. We had a real good time last year. I think it rained on us that afternoon. We're not going to do as long a thing. It'll start earlier in the morning and then have lunch, and then that'll be the end. And that way, if you've got things to do that afternoon, you can. But anyway, I hope y'all plan on joining us for that. And of course, anything else, we serve breakfast every Sunday morning, or most every Sunday morning. Breakfast starts at 9:30. There's a Sunday school class that starts at 8:30. Then we have breakfast at 9:30, and then we have church at 10. And it is breakfast. If you go away from there hungry, it's because you didn't get enough food on your plate. We have scrambled eggs and cheese grits and 3 or 4 different kinds of casseroles. We have biscuits and gravy, and I'm saying we because it's the church, but I have nothing to do with the meal other than I eat sometimes. There's almost always fresh fruit. There's several different kinds of little homemade like sweet roll type things. Just it's 2 tables full of food. Oh, there's usually ham cooked, a couple of different kinds of ham. It's just a real good meal, and we would love to have y'all come. You don't have to stay for church. We want you to stay for church, but if you just want to come and eat and then go to your church, you're welcome to. We just like getting to know the people in the community, and it's a lot of fun. We have a lot of fun. But anyway, thank y'all for joining me tonight, and we will see you tomorrow night.